Today I'm going to talk you through the best orthopedic shoes. And as a foot and ankle specialist, I'm going to break down which are best for walking, for standing, those of you with mobility issues, or those of you who need extra support for balance issues. If we look at the Skechers Go Arch Fit 2.0, first of all, it's podiatrist certified as it's got a really well built arch support underneath your foot. It's relatively rigid, so it's helpful for those of you who struggle with pronation moments or have a flexible flat foot. If you've got a rigid flat foot, you may not enjoy the rigidity of this arch support as it might just put too much pressure under there. It's got a really high drop with 13 mils from the back to the front of the shoe. That's really helpful if you've got mobility issues around your ankle joint or your calf, as it facilitates a nice push-through motion in the gait cycle. It's got a slip-on feature, so you can just tighten the laces to the tightness that's best for you, and then you just need to slip into them. No worries about bending down each time you want to put them on or to take them off. It's got a relatively wide fit in the normal size of the Skechers Arch 2.0, so it's got plenty of space in there for the majority of the population, a nice broad-based support, and it's an excellent shoe for walking or for standing for long periods. One of the downsides is that it's the heaviest of all the shoes that I'm going to talk to you about today. Then if we look at a more orthotic friendly shoe, then we have the Brooks Ghost Max 3. Now this has a much wider platform than what we see in the Skechers Arch 2.0, and as a result it makes it inherently a lot more stable. It's one of the most orthotic friendly shoes on the market as a result because it's got a neutral platform, so no arch support like the Skechers. And it's got a really wide toe box for those of you with a broader foot, so you can pop out the insert and pop in your own custom insole if that's something that you have, or if you have something that you picked up online. Not only does it come with loads of space in the toe box, it also comes in a wide version as well. Now the cushioning is really balanced overall, so you sink into it a little bit, but you quickly feel that firm end feel, so it feels really stable in the foot, but it provides that comfort as well. So it's a lot more balanced than the firm cushioning that you feel in the Skechers shoe, and it's what we classify as a stable neutral shoe. So it has stability elements like the sidewalls on the outside and the inside of the shoe, which keep you focused on being centered in the shoe. It's got much lower drop, sitting around 6mm difference from the back to the front of the shoe, and that gives a nice even distribution of pressure across your foot. So an excellent option if you're looking for a balanced neutral shoe, or if you're looking for a shoe to fit in your orthotic. Then a shoe that has a medial wedge built into it is the New Balance 860 V14. What I mean by that is you can see the green cushioning on the bottom of the shoe and the white cushioning on the top. We've got lots of green cushioning on the inside of the shoe and less green cushioning on the outside of the shoe. Now that denser green cushioning creates a tilt within the shoe to tilt your foot outward slightly. And that's what we commonly create in a custom orthotic, where we try to shift the load from the inside to the outside of your foot. So it's really helpful if you struggle with pronation moments, you have a history of posterior tibial tendonitis or a flat foot, as it just takes the pressure off the arch of the foot, putting it towards the outside. The caveat of that is if you have a history of ankle sprains or balance issues, you may not enjoy feeling that sensation of being tilted outwards. It's got a relatively broad base of support and even softer cushioning than what we get in the Brooks with the Fresh Foam X cushioning, but it's not too mushy or unstable. It's got a normal fit in the toe box, but it comes in a wide version for those of you who need it. It's got loads of cushioning around the heel cup and has a relatively stiff heel counter to provide support to the back of your ankle. So this is an excellent option if you want a little bit of extra support to help offload the inner aspect of the foot, but you don't want to put an orthotic inside your shoe. It's really comfortable for standing up, for walking for long periods of time. Then we have another shoe that's really popular, and that's the Asics Gel-Kayano 32. Now they transformed this compared to the previous model, and they've got a 4D guidance system to provide support to your foot. So it also has an arch support built into it, but it's not as prominent as what you feel in the Skechers. So if you just like a little bit of pressure there, a little bit of support on the arch of your foot, this will be a better option. It's got so much softer plush cushioning than the other three shoes, so it's more of a cloud-like, pillow-like sensation, so you sink into it really comfortable, especially if you want to stand for long periods of time. It's got a broad-based support to add that extra element of stability that you don't get in the Skechers, and you've got plenty of room in the toe box with a wide version as well. It's a nice plush knit upper that wraps around your foot that's really comfortable. The only downside to this that we don't really like is the really thin tongue. We think that I could do a slightly plusher tongue, which gives it a nice lockdown and a real premium feel. But otherwise, this is an excellent option. If you are a keen walker and you want extra elements of stability, this is a perfect option. If you struggle with ankle mobility, it's a slightly higher drop, around 10mm, so it facilitates a nice push-through motion during the gait cycle without having that extreme height that you see in the Skechers. So an excellent arch support shoe. Then finally, we've got one of the really popular shoes on the market, and that's the Hoka Bondi 9. So it's one of Hoka's best selling shoes, and that's because it's got one of the best cushioning on the market. So it has supercritical foam that sits underneath your foot, and that's really cloud-like, really soft, but it's not unstable. So you can see that it's got a lot more cushioning than what you see in something like the Kayano, and therefore it gives you lots of support where it's broad base underneath your foot, along with that balanced cushioning. It's got a bit more space in the toe box than the previous model, but it does run a little bit narrower on top. So if you've got a wider foot, you may want to get the wide version of this model. It has some sidewalls on the outside and the inside, similar to what we see in the Brooks, but not as supportive as that. And therefore it's more of a classic neutral shoe as opposed to a stable neutral that we see in the Ghost Max 3. It's got nice padding up on the top of the shoe, and aesthetically it's a really nice looking shoe if you're happy to have something that has a little bit of a thicker sole on it. So this is an excellent neutral option for walking, for standing, has a low drop so you get nice even distribution of pressure, and an excellent forefoot rocker, which is where the foot curves upwards, and that helps offload the under part of the forefoot, so the ball of the foot, if you're someone who gets sensitivity there. So an excellent option for those of you who want a neutral shoe but plenty of padding and cushioning underneath your foot. However, if you have any questions on them, please drop them in the comment section below. There's links to all 5 shoes in the description if you want to check out the latest price on Amazon. Otherwise, if you find the video helpful or interesting, then like and share and subscribing does make a massive difference to the channel. Thank you for watching.